Armstrong and welcome to Pointless, the quiz that puts obscure knowledge to the test. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hi, I'm Tiffany, this is Julia, and we are sisters from Surrey.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm David, this is my girlfriend Clara, and we're from Walken in Hertfordshire.
Couple number three.
Hi, my name's Amelia, this is my friend Ellen. We met at university and we both now live in London.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Steve. This is my father, John. We are from Biggin Hill in Kent.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, all of you. Warm welcome to Pointless. Lovely to have you with us. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce. A horse. A horse. My sovereign state, which is a member of the UN in its own right, for a horse is my Pointless friend. It's Richard.
Hi, everybody. Hello. Afternoon. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
One returning pair from the last show, Clara and David, welcome back. Had a unique combination of jobs, I would say, that we've never had on Pointless before from a pair, which we will get into, I'm sure. And Joe and Marek got through to that final round at a question on cricket. They scored a 6-pointer, a 2-pointer, and then a 1-pointer. It was a very exciting end to the show. Anyone here can also do 6-2-1. Honestly, we love that on this show. It's very, very tense. And the jackpot rolls over, so it's perfect for us.
Yeah. It's kind of ideal, actually.
Yeah, it's really what we look for.
Yeah. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Which means, Joe and Marek not having won the jackpot, we're adding another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £2,000. There we are. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. Keep your scores low at all times, remember. It's the pair with the highest score at the end of each round that gets eliminated. No conferring till we get to the third round. Best of luck to all four pairs. Our first category today is history. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns historical events that happened in May. Richard.
Yeah, simply 7 questions on each board to historical events. Hey, they all happened in May.
What about that?
Yeah, how about that? Oh, so I hope you've been revising things that happened in May throughout history.
Thank you very much. Let's reveal our first board of 7 clues. All these events happened in May, remember. This 19-year-old woman, nicknamed the Maid of Orléans, was burnt at the stake in France, 30th of May, 1431. This man became the first British Prime Minister to be assassinated, 11th of May, 1812. This event, part organised by Prince Albert, opened in a large glass building in Hyde Park, 1st of May, 1851. This German airship burst into flames over Lakehurst, New Jersey, 6th of May, 1937. This member of the royal family married photographer Anthony Armstrong Jones at Westminster Abbey, 6th of May, 1960. Communist states signed this defence treaty, unifying their forces under Soviet command, 14th of May, 1955. And this former political prisoner was sworn in as South Africa's president, 10th of May, 1994. I'll read those clues again. This 19-year-old woman, nicknamed the Maid of Orléans, was burned at the stake in France. This man became the first British Prime Minister to be assassinated. This event, part organised by Prince Albert, opened in a large glass building in Hyde Park. This German airship burst into flames over Lakehurst, New Jersey. This member of the royal family married photographer Anthony Armstrong Jones at Westminster Abbey. Communist states signed this defence treaty, unifying their forces under Soviet command, and this former political prisoner was sworn in as South Africa's president. There we are. Tiffany, welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you here, Tiffany. Tell us all about yourself.
I live in Surrey, I have 2 children, and I'm an artist.
What sort of art do you do, Tiffany?
Probably best describe it as cubist, but you can still see what it is.
So if you were painting someone's cat...
Yes.
It might have some cubist elements.
It could do, unless they don't want it, and then that's fine. I'll just do sort of a coloured pencil thing. So
Okay.
I can do realism as well, but that's my thing, is the fractured, I call it.
Fractured.
Fractured.
So some cubes with some whiskers and a tail. It's a cat.
Yeah.
There we are.
That's one weird cat.
That's it. OK, now, Tiffany, our May events.
Yes. OK. There's a few I know on there, thank goodness. And I think I'm going to go for the top one. It might be a little high, but Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc, says Tiffany. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Joan of Arc. Oh. It is Joan of Arc. Oh. There we are, down to 61. OK. Not bad.
Yes, all sorts of charges against her, one of which was essentially from Deuteronomy, a woman shall not wear something that pertaineth to a man. So cross-dressing, essentially. That was one of the many things that she was burned at the stake for.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, Clara, welcome back. Remind us all about yourself, Clara.
I am a dog walker from Hertfordshire.
And?
And I look after horses as well.
Aha. What are your interests that aren't horsey or dog-related?
I love cooking, baking, photography, art, everything creative, really.
Very good. OK, now, Clara, what are you going to go for on our board here?
So I've actually had a bit of a brain freeze. I'm not sure of any of these, but I'm going to go for Nelson Mandela for the last one.
OK, Nelson Mandela for the political prisoner. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Nelson Mandela. It's right, and it goes down to 76. 76 for Nelson Mandela.
One of his favourite foods was tripe, believe it or not. There's a cookbook from one of his personal chefs that tells us how much he enjoyed tripe.
Cooked well, tripe can be all right.
Really? It's the sort of thing they'd have on MasterChef, wouldn't it?
It is, exactly.
They'd have tripe but 4 ways.
A lot of things that were considered sort of lowly foods. Pig's trotter, for example, that's been revived as well.
Has it?
Pig's trotter.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Pierre Kaufmann, it's his signature dish. The stuffed pig's trotter.
Really? What's he stuff it with?
Pig. Pig foot. Thank you very much indeed. Now, Amelia, welcome. Tell us all about yourself, Amelia.
So I'm a human rights consultant. I work with companies on human rights, helping them understand their human rights impacts.
Very good. And what are your interests when not at work on good things?
I'm an honorary steward at Twickenham, so I volunteer to steward the rugby at Twickenham.
Does that mean you stand in sort of
in the gangways?
In the gangways,
yeah.
and tell people to wait until there's a suitable interval in play? Oh, no, that's cricket. Sorry.
I have to clear the gangways, fire safety.
OK, very good. Very good, but in a very honourable kind of a way.
Absolutely.
Amelia, all these events happened in May. What are you going to go for on our board here?
Well, I think I know 4 out of the 5 remaining ones. I hope I've got this right. I'm going to go for the Prime Minister that was assassinated as Spencer Perceval.
Spencer Perceval, says Amelia. Let's see how many of our 100 people got that. It is Spencer Perceval. 76 our high score, 61 our low. You whiz past both of those. Down you go to 11. Very well done. There's a good score.
Yeah, there's a Norfolk MP, Henry Bellingham, who is a descendant or near descendant of the man who shot him, John Bellingham. So there you go.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. OK, John.
Yes, Sandra.
John, welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. Tell us all about yourself, John.
Well, I'm happily retired now. I've been retired for a couple of years, but I spent 32 years as a policeman. And then when I retired from the police, I worked in a secondary school as the attendance and behaviour expert. Well,
that's fun.
Sorry, I didn't mean the expert. I mean, I was the one who got the kids into school.
Very.
And made sure they stayed in school.
And stayed in school. So it's the same sort of job, really. Same walk around the perimeter.
Rounding them up.
Rounding them up. And shouting, oi, from time to time. How's your oi sounding?
Oi!
That's good, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's good.
I'm not going to muck about with John.
No, absolutely.
Now,
absolutely.
John, you're the last person to have this board.
Yeah.
Do you feel like talking us through it?
I think the event part organised by Prince Albert is a great exhibition. The German airship, I think it's a Hindenburg. Member of the royal family is Princess Margaret. I haven't got a clue of the Communist states who signed that one. I think I'll go for the Hindenburg.
You're going to go for the Hindenburg. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Hindenburg. It's right. Well, 76 the high score, 11's our low. You get down to 33. Not bad at all, John.
Well played, John. I bet John was a good policeman.
I bet he was.
Yeah,
I bet he was.
You can just see it, can't you?
Liked.
Or terrifying if you were at school.
Yes.
Yeah, one or the other. Now, you took us through these very nicely. It was the great exhibition. Slightly better score, actually, 22 points for that. Princess Margaret is a big score, 57. Now, everyone avoided this. Everyone will know this answer.
Warsaw Pact.
The Warsaw Pact, yeah. Would have scored 8 points, so very well done if you said that at home.
Thank you. We are halfway through the round. Let's have a little recap of the scores. 11, Amelia. Look at that. Very well done indeed. 33 is where we find John and Steve. 61 is where we find Tiffany and Julia. And 76, Clara and David. A little bit ahead there. David, let's hope there's a nice low score on the next board for you so you can keep in the game. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, well, let's put 7 more clues to events that happened in May up on the board. Here they come. This series of wars between the houses of Lancaster and York began 22nd of May, 1455. Edward Jenner administered the first vaccination against this disease, 14th of May, 1796. Napoleon Bonaparte died in exile on this island, 5th of May, 1821. This aviator became the first to make a non-stop solo flight across the Atlantic, 21st of May, 1927. Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay became the first climbers to reach the summit of this mountain, 29th of May, 1953. This 25-year-old medical student became the first man to break the 4-minute mile, 6th of May, 1954. And this woman became Britain's first female Prime Minister, 4th of May, 1979. I'll read those clues again. This series of wars between the houses of Lancaster and York began. Edward Jenner administered the first vaccination against this disease. Napoleon Bonaparte died in exile on this island. This aviator became the first to make a non-stop solo flight across the Atlantic. Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay became the first climbers to reach the summit of this mountain. This 25-year-old medical student became the first man to break the 4-minute mile. And this woman became Britain's first female Prime Minister. There we are. Steve, welcome. Tell us all about yourself, Steve.
I work in financial services, giving financial advice to individuals and also some small companies. In my spare time, I'm a keen sports fan these days, rather more than a player.
What did you play when you played?
Football, cricket.
Do you watch everything?
I love going to the cricket. In fact, Dad and I go together quite often. And football as well. I'm a season ticket holder at Millwall. OK, now, Steve, you're on 33. 42 at this early stage of the second pass. Yeah.
Could get you into the round 2.
I think I know a few of them, but the one I'm going to go for is the medical student, which I think is Roger Bannister. Roger Bannister,
4-minute mile. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Roger Bannister. There is your red line. It's right. 51 takes your total up to 84.
Yeah, there's now a Roger Bannister medal, or a Sir Roger Bannister medal for sport and exercise medicine.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, Ellen, welcome.
Hi.
Tell us all about yourself, Ellen.
So I'm originally from Coleraine in County Derry, but I now live in London. I normally work as a doctor, but I'm currently on maternity leave, and I've actually got a baby out in the back of the studio today.
Oh, that's nice. Very good. What's your baby called?
Lara. She's called Lara.
Lara. Excellent.
I like the idea of it just being out the back of the studio.
Out the back. Literally some bins around there.
That makes her sound bad, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she's not. She's being beautifully looked
Very
after.
well looked after,
exactly.
yeah, by my sister.
Around the front of the studio. There we are. Now, Ellen, brilliant low score from Amelia in the first pass means 72 or less gets you into the next round.
Yeah. I know a few of these, but I'm a bit worried they'll be a bit too high. So I'm going to go for the aviator, which I think was Lindbergh.
Lindbergh?
Yeah.
Lindbergh.
Lindbergh.
Here is your red line. If you can get below that with Lindbergh, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. It's right. And you're through. Down it goes to 11. Exactly the same score as Amelia, taking your total up to 22. Very well done.
Very well played. Nice answer for a doctor as well. He was very interested in cardiology. He was one of the first people to design an artificial heart.
Wow.
Yeah.
David, welcome back. Now then, we have a bit of a mountain to climb here, David. Before we do that, remind us all about yourself.
So I'm a professional poker player. I've been doing that for about 4 or 5 years now. I live in Walken in Hertfordshire with Clara.
When you say a professional poker player, does that mean basically you thought, right, I can now make a living from my poker?
Yeah, it was...
And is that bearing fruit? Does it work like that? Is it a good?
It's paid the bills for
See, that's
the last few years. Yeah.
When did you make the decision to make it your?
I mean, it was initially just sort of like a year away from working, and I sort of carried on doing it.
Yeah.
Because it was, yeah.
Well, it seems to work. Well, brilliant. Good for you, David. You're on 76. What we're looking for is a score of 7 or less here, David. All these events happened in May. What are they?
I have a couple of gambly answers. Debating whether to go for that or play it safe. If only I had a history degree, which I do. This is bad. Gonna go for Edward Jenner administered the first vaccination against, I'm gonna say smallpox.
Smallpox, says David. Here is your red line. Let's see how far down the column we get with smallpox. It's right. 31 takes your total up to 107.
Yeah, a good answer. In 1980, World Health Organization declared smallpox eradicated from the world, thanks to Edward Jenner.
Good for him.
Actually injected an 8-year-old child with the cowpox. That's how they did it. That's medical ethics, I think, very different in those days.
A child was brought.
Yeah.
He needed someone. The child was brought in.
Yeah, from around the back of the studio.
Round the back. That's where you find them.
That's where you find them.
Thank you very much indeed. Julia, welcome. Lovely to have you here, Julia. Tell us all about yourself.
I'm a reward consultant, which means that I advise companies on what they should be paying various functions, various jobs, and I design bonus schemes and benefits packages.
Wow. Do you find a lot of rewardees trying to sweet-talk you?
Sometimes, but I'm also finding that people value flexible working arrangements and career development opportunities just as much as the money.
That's interesting and somehow reassuring, I think, isn't it? Julia, what are your interests?
We have 2 teenage daughters, so taxi service a lot of the time. Socialising, concerts, used to play a lot of netball.
Lovely.
Dancing, yeah.
Very nice indeed. Now, there you are. You're on 61. You have to score 45 or less, Julia.
OK.
Do you want to talk us through this board?
So the top one, Wars of the Roses. Edmund Hillary must be Everest. Margaret Thatcher at the bottom. I think I'll go for Napoleon Bonaparte. I think it was Elba.
Elba, says Julia. Here is your red line. Can you get below that red line with Elba? Let's find out. Bad luck, Julia, I'm afraid. I bet you weren't the only one of our 100 to say that. Scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 161.
Yeah, I suspect all sorts of people said it. He was very famously on Elba, but this was, do you know this one?
St. Helena, was it?
St. Helena, yeah. And it's a 14-point answer as well, so it's a terrific answer. So that is unlucky. You're right, it is the Wars of the Roses. Would have scored you too many points. 67 for that. In fact, all of these would have scored you too many points because it is Everest. And that was 71. And the biggest scorer, Margaret Thatcher, 91 points. So Lindbergh, best answer on the board. Very well played.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, we are at the end of our first round. We have to say goodbye to one of our pairs. Julia and Tiffany, I'm so sorry it was you there. Oh, might you have had St. Helena there at the back of your mind?
Absolutely not.
No. Oh, well, that's some consolation. We'll see you again next time. Look forward to that.
Thank you.
Meantime, thanks so much, Julia and Tiffany. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Well done, everybody. Here we are in round 2, down to 3 pairs. Amelia and Ellen not only are lowest combined scorers, but each of you joint lowest individual scorers with 11. Very good indeed. But well done, everyone. We're through, which is good. Best of luck. Our category for round 2 today is pop music. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many acts who have had 2 or more UK #1 singles since 2010 as they could. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any act who's been credited with having 2 or more UK #1 singles from the 1st of January 2010, please, up to the 1st of April 2019, according to the official charts company. That's either as the main artist or a named featured artist. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed. Clara.
I'm going to go with Westlife.
Westlife, says Clara. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Westlife. No, bad luck. Bad luck, Clara. Not Westlife. Scores you 100 points.
Yeah, sorry, they had lots of #1s, but the last one was 2006, so wrong decade.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Ellen.
Yeah.
What are you going to go for?
Jess Glynn. Can I say Jess Glynn?
Jess Glynn?
Yep.
Let's find out. Let's see if that's right. How many of our 100 people said Jess Glynn? It's right. That's a good answer. Very well done indeed. Down to 3, Jess Glynn.
Yes, 7 number ones for Jess Glynn in that decade, which is incredible stuff. Some by herself, some as a featured artist with other people, but 7. How about that?
How about that? Thank you very much indeed. Now, John, there's acts with 2 or more UK number ones since 2010. Very much your era.
Wonderful, yeah, really good, yeah. If in doubt, Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys, says John. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Arctic Monkeys. No bad luck. In this instance, an incorrect answer scores you 100 points.
Yeah, funnily enough, their last number one was in 2006 as well, which is where the similarities between Arctic Monkeys and Westlife end, I think.
Thank you very much indeed. We're halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. Only 2 scores between the 3 pairs. Ellen and Amelia, look at that, on 3. Very, very strong indeed on that podium in the middle there. John and Steve and Clara and David on 100. So Steve and David, it's going to be between the pair of you to see who stays and who leaves at the end of the round. Best of luck. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, Steve, remember we're looking for any musical act that's had 2 or more UK number ones since 2010.
Bit torn here. I think I'll take a bit of a punt and try Rudimental.
Rudimental, says Steve. OK, no red line for you. You're the high scorers at the moment. How many of our 100 people said Rudimental? It's right. That's a pointless answer. Very well done indeed, Steve. That punt paid off. That adds £250 to today's jackpot, takes the total up to £2,250, scores you nothing, leaves your total at 100 and puts quite a lot of pressure on David.
Doesn't it just? That's a beautiful answer. Very well played, yeah. Hackney Band had 3 UK number ones up to April the 1st, 2019. Feel the Love was the first one.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Amelia. You're on 3. 96 or less gets you into the head-to-head.
OK, I'm going to go with Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa, says Amelia. Here is your red line, lovely and high. Get below that, the head-to-head awaits. How many people said Dua Lipa? It's right, you're through. That goes down to 5. Very strong. Takes your total up to 8.
Yeah, New Rules and One Kiss, 2 UK number 1 singles from Dua Lipa. That's her real name as well. It's a great name, isn't it?
Good name. Thank you very much indeed. Now then, David, a little bit of pressure here. We need from you a pointless answer for a draw.
Well, kind of hate pop music. Let's go for example.
OK, example, says David. No red line, you're currently joint high scorers, but let's see how many of our 100 people said example. Let's see if it's right. It is right. That is also a pointless answer. Very well done indeed. Well, this is fun. That adds another £250 to today's jackpot. Takes the total up to 2,500. Scores you nothing and means you are now drawing with Steve and John, and we are now entering a lockdown scenario.
I mean, the second...
Ooh, I just have to do it. Ooh, lockdown. Those monks.
How about that for a second run? For a second run, that's amazing stuff. Yeah, he had 2 number 1 singles in 2011, example. Wow. Big Fulham fan as well. Example. OK, well, let's see what happens now, because it's a tie. We're in a lockdown, which means we take an answer from each pair. David and Clara, you can confer before you give me your answer. Steve and John, Steve on his own, can confer and give me an answer as well. Yeah. So, David and Clara.
Mumford & Sons.
Mumford & Sons, say David and Clara. Steve and John.
Try David Guetta.
David Guetta. Mumford & Sons, David Guetta. Let's see, in the order they were given, David and Clara said Mumford & Sons. Let's see how many of our 100 said that. Bad luck. An incorrect answer there, scoring you 100 points, takes your total up to 200, which means, really, Steve and John, we just need a correct answer from you. But let's see. David Guetta, how many of our 100 people said that? Is it right? There's your red line. It is right. That goes down to 2. Very well done indeed. Taking your total up to 102, securing you a place in the head-to-head.
Very nicely played. 6 number ones in all for David Guetta, 4 of them in this decade as well, so that's terrific work. Now, there's a whole bunch of pointless answers. Let's take a look at a few of them. Cheryl was a pointless answer. Dizzy Rascal, a pointless answer. Eminem is a pointless answer. 2 number ones in that decade. Flo Rida is a pointless answer. Jason Derulo, JLS. 3 number ones for them in that decade. Meghan Trainor had 2. Pharrell Williams, some of the biggest songs of the 2010s, Pharrell Williams. And Roll Deep as well. You could have had Pitbull, you could have had John Newman, you could have had The Wanted, will.i.am as well. All of those were pointless answers. Wiz Khalifa, a pointless answer as well. Shall we take a look at the top 3 scorers? One Direction would have scored you 18. Ed Sheeran would have scored you 31. Who do you think is top? This
Adele.
Yeah, she's always top, isn't she, on these? Adele, with 34.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, we are at the end of our second round. We have to say goodbye to one of our pairs, David and Clara. I'm afraid it's a second round exit for you in both shows. It's been lovely having you on. Thank you so much for coming to play. David and Clara. But for the 2 remaining pairs, it's now time for the head-to-head. Congratulations, Amelia and Ellen, Steve and John. You are now one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £2,500. Well, here we are. It's the head-to-head. You're now allowed to confer. First pair to win 2 questions will be playing for the jackpot.
It's an impressive lineup, isn't it?
It is.
We kind of knew that from the beginning.
Anyway, best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. Here is your first question, and it concerns sports kit. Richard.
Yes, can you recognise any of these 5 famous sports people from their sport kit, please?
OK, let's reveal our 5 famous sports people. Here they come. A, LJ. B, SW. C, ES. D, TW. And E, MA. There we are. 5 sports people to be recognised by their kit alone. Amelia and Ellen, you're our low scorers, so you get to go first.
I think we're going to go for C and say Ellie Simmons.
C, Ellie Simmons. Ellie Simmons. Now, Stephen Johns, over to you. Do you want to talk us through the rest of that board?
Yeah, I think we know them all. I think Ellie Simmons will be better than all of them, but I think A is LeBron James, B, Serena Williams, D, Tiger Woods, and E, Muhammad Ali. And I guess out of those 4, that LeBron James will probably be the best.
LeBron James. So we have Ellie Simmons and we have LeBron James. Amelia and Ellen went for C and said Ellie Simmons. Let's see how many of our 100 people got that. Ellie Simmons, absolutely right. That takes you down to 9. Great answer there. Steve and John, meanwhile, have gone for LeBron James for A. Let's see how many of our 100 people got that. LeBron James. That's right. It's got to beat 9. Down it goes to 27. Not bad. But well done, Amelia and Ellen. After 1 question, you're up 1-0.
Well, we said it would be a good head-to-head, and those are the best 2 answers on the board. Very well played there, everybody. We'll fill in the scores for the others. They're all pretty big. Serena Williams would have scored you 81. Tiger Woods would have scored you 85. And Ali would have scored you 58 points.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. OK, here comes your second question. Steve and John, you have to win this one to stay in the game, so good luck. Our second question is all about film studio logos. Richard.
We're going to describe the logos now of 5 film studios or distributors, but what studios are they, please?
Thank you very much. OK, let's reveal our 5 descriptions, and here they come. 5 logos here. A mountain peak is ringed by a field of stars. A roaring lion surrounded by a ring of film, inscribed with the Latin motto Ars Gratia Artis. A shield with the initials WB stamped on it. A woman wearing a drape holds a torch in her right hand. And a little boy sits on a crescent moon while fishing. I'm going to read those all again. A mountain peak is ringed by a field of stars. A roaring lion surrounded by a ring of film, inscribed with the Latin motto Ars Gratia Artis. A shield with the initials WB stamped on it. A woman wearing a drape holds a torch in her right hand. And a little boy sits on a crescent moon while fishing. There we are. Steve and John will go first.
I think the bottom might be DreamWorks. I think we should do that, yeah. So we'll try the bottom one. It's a bit of a punt, but we'll try DreamWorks.
DreamWorks, say Steve and John. DreamWorks for the bottom one. Now, Amelia and Ellen, do you want to talk us through the others?
I think the second one is Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. I think the third one is Warner Brothers. We think the top one...
Is it Universal? Or 20th Century Fox?
I think it might be 20th Century Fox. We're not sure about the fourth one.
Paramount, is it Paramount?
Oh, it could be Paramount.
Yeah.
Oh, Paramount. I think we should try that.
Or do you not want to do MGM?
No. No. Let's go. I think
Which one do you want to go for?
I think let's try Paramount.
OK, Paramount.
OK, you're going to go Paramount for the top one. OK, so we have DreamWorks and we have Paramount. Steve and John said DreamWorks for the little boy fishing in the moon. Let's see how many of our 100 people said DreamWorks. It's right. Down that goes to 41. Amelia and Ellen, meanwhile, have gone for Paramount for the mountain peak ringed by a field of stars. Let's see how many of our 100 said Paramount. It's right, 41. Oh, 47 for Paramount. Just what you needed, Steve and John, back in the game. After 2 questions, it's 1-all.
It's amazing that, because when you say what the question is, you think, oh, I'm not going to know any of these. And as soon as they're so familiar to us, we've seen them so many times over the years. 2 good answers there. The roaring lion, of course, is MGM. You're quite right. That would have scored 55 points. This is the biggest scorer, unsurprisingly, The Shield. Warner Brothers would have scored 92. Now, this is the best answer on the board. Do you know this one?
Is it Columbia?
It is Columbia, yeah. Very well done, Columbia Pictures. That would have scored you 22. Best answer on the board.
Thank you very much indeed. OK, this is the decider. Whoever wins this third question goes through to the final to play for the jackpot. Best of luck to both pairs. Our third question today is all about chemical elements with their names in alphabetical order. Richard.
We are showing you the names of 5 chemical elements now. We've done this a couple of times before. We have arranged all the letters of their names in alphabetical order. So it's sort of an anagram, but with all the letters in alphabetical order. What are these chemical elements? OK, let's reveal our alphabetized anagrams of chemical elements. Here they come, 5 of them. EGNOXY, EEEINNNSST, KNOPRTY, ABCLOT, and ADEL. I'll read those all again. EGNOXY, EEEINNNSST, KNOPRTY, ABCLOT, and ADEL. There we are. Amelia and Ellen will go first.
Oxygen. Lead. Cobalt. Oh, yeah, OK. It's quite good. Oh, what about what's the E one? Is that Einstein?
OK, Amelia and Ellen.
We are going to go for cobalt.
Cobalt, say Amelia and Ellen. Steve and John, do you want to talk us through the rest of that board?
Oxygen at the top.
Yeah. I think it might be tennessine. Tennessine. Krypton.
And lead.
Lead at the bottom.
Which do you want to go for?
I think krypton will be better than cobalt. Oh, sorry, let's
punt.
Yeah, let's go tennessine.
Tennessine. Second one. Tennessine. So we have cobalt and we have tennessine. Now, Amelia and Ellen went for cobalt. Let's see if that's right for abclot. How many of our 100 people spotted that? It's right. Down it goes to 44. Not bad. Steve and John, a bit of discussion there, but you've decided to go for Tennessee for the second one. Let's see if that's right. Let's see if that was the right decision. How many of our 100 people said it? It is Tennessee. And it wins you the point. Very well done by Martin. Look at that, down he goes to 5. Well done, Steve and John. It means that after 3 questions, you are through to the final 2-1.
And the best answer on the board again, unsurprisingly, Tennessee. Lots of people at home trying to fit Einsteinium into that, but it's Tennessee, one of the new elements. Oxygen up the top there would have scored you 89 points. Krypton, slightly better scorer than cobalt, would have scored you 25. What do you think lead scored? It's not the most complicated anagram we've ever seen.
75.
Oh, so close. 99.
Oh, good. Good.
99 for that.
Thank you very much indeed. OK, so the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round, I'm afraid, Amelia and Ellen, it's not a disaster. It means we get to see you again next time. We'll look forward to that very much. You played so well this time. I'm sure we'll be through to the head-to-head next time. And who knows, maybe taking it through to the final. But meantime, thank you so much. Amelia and Ellen. But for Steve and John, it is now time for that pointless final. Congratulations, Steve and John. You've seen off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot. And at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £2,500. A jackpot to which you have contributed mightily. Steve, mainly. But very well done indeed. Yeah, you played very well across the show and lovely to have you here in this final. Wouldn't it be great to take that jackpot home? What do you want to see come up?
Well, cricket would have been lovely. Something sports-related, I think, would be
Possibly.
Good.
Yeah, I think go along with that.
Maybe.
OK, if not out
geography,
of sort of sport, OK, geography.
Yeah.
History of the Arctic monkeys would be great.
We can only dream. Yeah. Come on. Well, you get to choose from the 4 things that appear on the board. Let's hope there's something up here you like. Today we've got sporting lefties, 19th century people, A Star is Born casts, numerical pop acts. What do you think?
I think sporting lefties has got to be, really.
OK, sporting lefties it is.
OK, good luck. Surely cricket isn't going to come up 2 shows in a row. Let's find out what we're looking for. We're looking for any scorer of a left-footed goal in the 2018 FIFA World Cup, please, excluding penalty shootouts. We are looking for any left-handed international cricketer who scored a century in 2018, according to the Cricinfo website. That's Test matches, one-day internationals and 2020. Or we are looking for any left-handed tennis players in the 2018 year-end top 100 rankings. That is male or female. So scorers of left-footed goals at the 2018 World Cup, left-handed international centuries, or any left-handed tennis player in the top 100 in the world at the end of 2018.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, as always, you've got up to a minute to come up with 3 answers. Are you ready?
Yep.
OK, let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Right. Cricket. David Milan.
Yeah.
David Warner.
Yeah, it's back.
Wouldn't really want him to be pointless answer, would it? Cook, be right. Yeah. Probably not pointless. Chris Gale.
Sangakkara packed up.
No, he's packed up. Probably Quinton de Kock, South African keeper batsman.
Yeah.
Let's try him. We'll have him.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Milan.
And that's it.
We'll do an Indian batsman of some description. Darwan. Shikhar Darwan, the opening batsman.
That's it.
Yeah, we'll do those 3.
Yeah.
I think we're happy.
You happy with the 3 you've got?
Yeah.
OK, we'll stop the clock there and let's have your answers.
So we can do all 3 from the international centuries one.
OK.
We will try Quinton de Kock.
Quinton de Kock.
Dawid Malan.
Dawid Malan.
And who's the last one I said?
Indian.
Oh, yeah. Shikhar Dhawan.
and Shikhar Dhalwan. OK, of those three, which is your best shot at a pointless answer?
Probably de Kock.
OK, de Kock goes last. Least likely to be pointless?
Dhalwan. Maybe.
OK, Dhalwan. Let's put those answers up on the board in that order then, and here they are. We've got Shikhar Dhalwan, Dawid Malan and Quinton de Kock. 3 good answers there. Jackpot of 2,500 quid. That's a rather nice jackpot to be taking home. If one of these answers turns out to be pointless and wins you that jackpot, what would you like to do with it? Steve, you first.
I promised my girlfriend if I won some money on here that I would take her to Venice, and she's sort of taken that as being sort of legally binding, I think. So
I think with some justification, Steve.
It was a quite offhand comment, and now I'm probably sold to that. So
careful what you
promise. That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
John, how about you?
Well, I've got my 2 grandsons over from India. They live and work in India. Well, my daughter and her husband. So I'll probably treat the 2 boys.
Lovely. Very nice indeed. OK, well, best of luck. 3 good answers. Let's hope one of these turns out to be pointless and wins you that jackpot. Shikhar Dhalwan was your first answer. You're looking for left-handed international centuries in cricket. If Shikhar Dhalwan is a pointless answer, you will leave here with £2,500. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. Shikhar Dhalwan. That's right. We just have to hope it's pointless now. Shikhar Dhalwan taking us down through the teens. We're into single figures. We're going down, still going. You've done it! That's one! Fantastic. Very well done indeed. Huge congratulations. That's good. Thank you. Excellent. Very well done indeed. Congratulations. Shikhar Dhalwan was a pointless answer. You are taking home that jackpot of £2,500. Well done.
Very well played, very well played. There's a lovely father and son team as well. Congratulations, lovely to see.
Thank you.
Your other 2 answers, both wrong. Afraid 62 and 87 were their highest scorers in that year, amazingly. There you go. So Dhalwan doing a lot of heavy lifting for you there. Yeah. Glad you put him as your opener. Now, football, there's loads of big pointless answers here. Let's take a look at some of them. Christian Eriksen, Mo Salah is a pointless answer. Romelu Lukaku, Sergio Aguero, all very famous to Premier League fans there. Carlos Vela, Edinson Cavani, Juan Quintero, Luis Suarez, Michy Batshuayi, Nacer Chadli, Paul Pogba, Son, all of those are pointless answers. Very well done if you said any of those. Ronaldo, the biggest scorer. Now, let's look at some more cricketers. The Pakistani opening batsman Fakhar Zaman was a pointless answer. Keaton Jennings was a pointless answer. There's Dhalwan, Shimron Hetmyer as well. Everyone there was a pointless answer, apart from Alistair Cook and Chris Gale, who you mentioned, and Usman Khawaja. Everyone else a pointless answer. Now, tennis. You could have had Feliciano Lopez, Fernando Verdasco, Marketa Vondrasova, or Misha Zverev. There's only 4 answers that scored points there. Rafa Nadal, Petra Kvitova, Angelique Kerber, and Cameron Norrie were answers that scored points. Everyone else, a pointless answer.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard, and thanks once again to our winning players, Steve and John, who take away today's jackpot of £2,500. Very well done.
Thank you.
Join us next time when we'll be putting more obscure knowledge to the test on Pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.